West Palm Beach, Florida. As negotiations over a summit meeting with the ruler of North Korea accelerate, President Trump on Sunday disputed any suggestion that he had made too many concessions at the outset of an unpredictable and potentially volatile diplomatic exercise. From his Florida estate, Mr. Trump took to Twitter to criticize Chuck Todd, the host of Meet the Press, who had questioned on his program whether the president had gotten anything in return for the huge gift he had given the North Korean leader, Kim Jong-un, by agreeing to meet with him. On the show, Mark Short, the White House Legislative Affairs Director, had an answer teed up, that the North Koreans had given the United States an agreement to stop testing nuclear weapons. But from his Twitter account, the president chose to answer Mr. Todd directly. Sleepy Eyes Chuck Todd of Fake News NBC just stated that we have given up so much in our negotiations with North Korea, and they have given up nothing, Mr. Trump wrote. Wow, we haven't given up anything and they have agreed to denuclearization, so great for world side closure, and no more testing. North Korea has not in fact agreed to denuclearization. It has told the South Koreans that it is willing to discuss the issue, but Mr. Kim has made no such statement to his own people, as he did with his declaration that his country did not need to conduct further nuclear testing. Continue reading the main story. The Trump White House. The historic moments, head-spinning developments and inside the White House intrigue. Macron takes a risk in courting Trump, but has little to show for it. April 22. A shadowy war's newest front, a drone base rising from Saharan dust. April 22. In message to Trump, Europe and Mexico announce trade pact. April 21. As Rod Rosenstein battles to protect Mueller, his tactics could cost the Justice Department. April 21. Pressure to release Comey memos may have backfired on GOP. April 20. See more. Related coverage. News analysis. What does Kim Jong-un want? U.S. fears answer is give a little, gain a lot. April 21, 2018. North Korea drops troop demand, but U.S. reacts warily. April 19, 2018. North Korea asks for direct nuclear talks, and Trump agrees. March 8, 2018. Advertisement. Continue reading the main story. Experts inside and outside the American government believe that Mr. Kim's ultimate goal is to have his country recognized as a nuclear power, even as he offers enough concessions, some potentially largely symbolic, to press the United States into easing crippling economic sanctions. Analysts who study North Korea's diplomatic patterns say there is cause for concern over Mr. Kim's overtures, given his murky motives and his apparent effort to use the concessions to try to achieve the upper hand in the negotiation process. North Korea has a long history of not abiding by promises to curtail its nuclear program, and Mr. Todd on his program reflected skepticism among former and some current White House officials that Mr. Kim will actually follow through on any vow to dismantle the North's primary nuclear test site or stop nuclear weapons testing. Some officials worry that Mr. Trump may be so eager to reach a historic deal that he will be lured into an agreement that falls short of the denuclearization of the Korean peninsula that global powers have demanded. Mr. Short said the administration had cautious optimism about the North Korea talks, which are expected in the next month or two. But he said the president would not relent on his maximum pressure campaign against the North until it denuclearized. Asked what denuclearization meant to the two sides, Mr. Short said that they would have to hash it out, but that the American view was that it would mean full denuclearization. Mr. Trump, perhaps sensitive to any suggestion that he could be duped by a wily North Korean leader, sought to project an air of only time will tell caution. We are a long way from conclusion on North Korea, maybe things will work out, and maybe they won't, Mr. Trump wrote. Later in the day, the president had a word for those who had publicly counseled him to proceed warily. Funny how all of the pundits that couldn't come close to making a deal on North Korea are now all over the place telling me how to make a deal. He tweeted,